Hello again, MiniGT fans and Bugatti lovers. So we got a back-to-back here. I had one yesterday, here's today. Although truthfully, I don't usually do my videos in order. I have some videos that are over a month old, and I still haven't broadcast them yet. But anyways, today I wanted to push out this because it's a pretty new casting. I have seen it on a few other channels though. Well, let's take a look. It's MiniGT 337. It's officially licensed by Bugatti. It's the Centodieci. I believe that's how they pronounce it. That's what Google Translate told me. And what Centodieci means is 110 in Italian, that is. And it's an homage to the original Bugatti 110 and also to celebrate Bugatti's 110th birthday. Anything to sell units, right? Although not many of these are going to be sold, only 10 of them are going to be made, and they're priced at 8 million euros. So you better have some oil fields to buy this sort of car. Alright, standard MiniGT packaging is wonderful as usual, although I find that some of these images are not to scale. This one is. That image is indicative of the model inside. Okay, let's get this box out of here. What else did I learn from Wikipedia? This thing is starting to be produced this year, 2022. And using virtual reality technology, this design team was able to complete the design of this in only 6 months. So that's pretty impressive. It is based on the Chiron, although it's 20 kilos lighter. And this thing is powered by an 8-liter quad-turbo W16 engine, and it's making almost 1600 horsepower. And then at 0 to 60 is 2.4 seconds, and it's electronically limited to 240 miles per hour. Now, I can't imagine driving that fast. I think the fastest I ever got a car up to was like 135 before the nose started to get light. And on my motorcycle, maybe 130, but that was on a racetrack, so the straight ran out. But anyways, going 200 must be crazy. Alright, anyways. We have a standard white, it looks like. Or is it metallic? Actually, I think there's some metallic flakes in there. Look right around here. You see? A little speckling there. So that's nice. Metallics are, for me, historically, it seems like metallics resist paint rash, the bubbling, long term, better than regular paints. And it's nice to see that they released this in the original color. So that's why I got it. Usually I kind of skimp away from white cars. But if this is what the car looks like, the original photos, I guess I should get it, right? So I actually pre-ordered this one a long time ago. Alright, looking at these wheels, I would say they do look like those photographs. A couple issues, and this is also another Bugatti from this brand. A little bit of extra paint here. It looks like a little arrow tip. It's not supposed to be there, but something in the production process. I guess it's probably like a tampo print, and maybe the stamp just runs over a little too much and it gets onto the wheel there. See, sometimes it's on this side, sometimes on that side. But for the cost of a Mini GT, I guess, you gotta accept something to go wrong. Oh, this wheel actually has some grooves or something here, right in between the spokes. There's a texture there. It's not going to be brakes though for Mini GT. Again, for the price, you just can't get it. Little vent detail here, and it's just body colored on the real photograph, so no black paint necessary. I feel like that panel gap's huge though. That's a big panel gap. Some Mini GTs, like the early Lambo Huracan, has big panel gaps. But at least the white is covering up the edges pretty well. You don't see the dark casting edges. And then we have these little air intakes here with some black dots in them. The bottom here we have a nice glossy black. I guess that's part of the base. I think that's a metal base. I think it's metal. I think Mini GTs have metal bases. Okay, yeah, standard Mini GT fare, it does roll. And also, what's nice is the tires don't look like they belong on Bigfoot. The tread blocks are pretty short, from the side, so I don't know why some brands have really giant tread blocks on their sports cars. clearly it can be done better. And look at these treads, they're pretty nice. Staggered tires, it looks like, right, front to rear, different width. But again, MiniGT just doesn't care to tell you what the car is. It's really strange, right? So weird. They can clearly just mold in letters because they've just molded in all those letters. Why wouldn't they just mold in what the car is? It's licensed. Very, very weird. Alright, going to the front here. I'm not sure if I like the styling of this car so much, but we got some grille texture. That sounds like it's a separate plastic piece. The Bugatti logo is pretty small, not oversized, and you can read it, so that's pretty impressive. These little slits for the LED lights are actually printed white there, so that's pretty nice, white and black. And then there's a texture in these little grills. This again is probably the chin spoiler that's part of the base, so it works out pretty well. You can really see the pearl flake there now as well. And then this little vent detail just kind of bottoms out there. Some molded in wiper blades look alright. And then the blackout is printed on tampo wise, so that's good. And then the rubbery mirrors are fantastic, right? Hopefully if you drop it, it won't just, snap off. I wish every brand did that. Okay, this side looks just as good. I'm now noticing a little vent detail here again. Although, maybe that's not... No, it is a vent. Yeah, no paint though. This is a vent as well, no paint. But they're so shallow, I can kind of understand. Well, maybe this one, you might want to go and add some black paint yourself. Alright, anyways, going to the back. Oh, that's a shame. That tailpipe is missing some paint. Actually, it's missing metal. That's a real shame. So that's not cool. MiniGTs usually are pretty good on the QC, but this is not one of those days. I don't know what I should do. Unfortunately, you can't tell because the blind box, I might have to write them an email. This car's... It's a nice car, so I'll have to see what kind of customer service they have. Alright, well that's something nice here on the license plate, Centodieci. And then we have some white on these strakes of the diffuser. Nice texture up here. Ooh, very cool. There's a carbon fiber graphic on this thing. And the wing as well. Did not expect that. So, ooh, that's nice carbon. I can feel it. So, I'm gonna guess maybe they painted it and then they printed on a texture, and that's what I'm feeling, the paint of the texture. It's very cool. Or it's molded in the plastic, I'm not sure. Alright, the little thin taillights are painted red. That's not so great there, that bump. There is a Bugatti printed there, but it's so close to the wing it's almost impossible to see. Alright, little black paint detail in here. I'm assuming these are like vents or something. Same here. Those are casted in. A little blackout on this rear glass and some engine details there. You got some silver paint on the cam covers. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess some air actually goes in there as well. Although it doesn't here, it just bottoms out against the window plastic. Some vents here as well, but no paint. Okay. And then kind of a thick panel gap, I think. They could have made that thinner. I know the brand's done better than this in the past. But, well, I don't know. Alright, I'm going to just take the thing apart because I usually put in my own brakes into these things. Although, would I even see brakes on this thing? The spokes are so tight. There is air passing between them. Maybe I won't add brakes, but whatever, we'll still open it up anyways. That is the beauty of a screw-together base. It's pretty easy to take apart. So, we have some... I guess these are riveted, but this is just kind of dangling. It's just held in place, but it's not riveted. Only the front four are. Okay, and so yes, that grill is a separate piece. There's a pin going in there. And then this whole back facade seems to be plastic as well, or part of it. Maybe this. And the lights maybe are a separate piece. Alright. So the interior, yeah, standard molded details from the brand. Nothing to complain about. And I think they made a smart choice putting the color on the engine instead of in here. I think you're gonna gravitate to seeing the engine more than here. You know, they only have a certain budget for all these different paint apps and all that stuff. So now, why is this so tight? I don't know. Alright, you know what? I'm going to pause, and maybe I will or will not add brakes. I did add some brakes, but they're pretty hard to see. I have red calipers like the photograph, but yeah, the spoke openings aren't big enough really to take advantage of the brakes, but I had them anyways. I did find some interiors with darker blue, Bugatti blue, but I didn't have a dark blue, so I painted it a sky blue, and then I removed some from the front of the windshield and the vent there. But at least I can see a little bit more of the interior details now in this color. Alright, well, let's take a look at a couple other Bugattis here. The very first one, I guess, would be from Auto Art. This is the 16.4 Veyron in a Dubai police livery. Oh, the influence. Let's see. This is the EB110 by Hot Wheels. I can't recall if there's a premium version of this car. There might be one in the works, but I don't know. It's kind of an ugly car, so I don't know if I'll get it. I think this is a 1/62 scale when I looked back at my review. And I 3D printed my own wheels for it, of course. But you can see it's got those weird vents there. They look like smoke dischargers on an airplane or something like that. The vent behind the wheel, the slots there in the tail are now part of the tail pipes. So I can definitely see the influence of this original design crossing over into this more modern rendition. I will say I like the more modern rendition more. This is just a strange looking supercar to me. Okay. A brand called Granny and Partners had a whole line of hypercars, and so they have this Chiron, which I guess this thing is based off of, and it's a pretty good one. Oh, there's some paint rash on this guy right there on the hood. You can see that bubbling there. But I think these are cheap. They're literally sold in convenience stores, so maybe they're like, if I had to guess, $6 to $8 when they're brand new. And they have really nice wheels. They have like engine details and stuff too, but just printed on taillights. Well, same with MiniGT actually. Only the Auto Art has plastic inserted taillights. Alright, a nice one though here. We got this Barago / Time Micro of the Bugatti Divo. So this is probably the most expensive of the four when they were brand new. I think you can still track this down today. Maybe not in this colorway, but they have other colors. And it's a pretty good model considering how complex looking that car is. So I recommend that one. I hate to have this go, but the last one is the MiniGT Gran Turismo Vision concept video game car that became a real car. And I still say that's probably the best MiniGT mold that's ever been done. That's such a complex looking car, and MiniGT pulled it off, you know, stupendously with all the carbon texture. I feel like the blues might not be quite the same darkness as the real one, but otherwise it is the best Vision Gran Turismo Bugatti, I think, in 1/64 scale. Alright, well, let's get this guy spinning on its own. This one's so cool. Goes on the podium spin thing. Alright, well, MiniGT, another fantastic job. Except for this time around, the QC is a little questionable. Those exhaust tips, right? That's definitely an eyesore. You can clearly see from this distance, it's like, it's really a shame. If it was just missing paint, it wouldn't be an issue, but it's literally missing metal, so I cannot complete that ring. And now that I've painted the interior, I guess it might be SOL. Well, anyways, your mileage will vary. Hopefully others will not have this same problem on their exhausts, and try to get it. It's a pretty cool model otherwise. Thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next Mini GT review. Bye.